Yo, what's good? It's your boy Dot from Dot Me Now Coaching and Entertainment. For coaching, my links are down below. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the veil and a couple of lessons that I'm learning about seeing beyond the veil. I'm going to also include some Egyptian wisdom here and stuff like that based upon the story of Isis, aka Yaset, and how she was trying to lift the veil in order to pretty much understand the true spiritual reality things and stuff like that. And yeah, so first things first, I do want to read off something I posted about on my Instagram. It's a little bit dramatic, I ain't gonna cap. I'm gonna break down what I was really trying to get across by the message, you feel me? So boom. The ways of men are wicked and dangerous. This is why the secrets of the universe have been veiled. Now, that's not the only reason why things have been veiled. You feel me? Like it isn't, right? But that's one reason why. The reason why a lot of people cannot pierce beyond the veil is because the ways of men are wicked and by wicked and dangerous, like I do mean like sometimes evil, but I also just mean like twisted. And it's like it's dangerous to know certain things when you're not, in a divine state of being, when you're still acting like an animal. Like humans are essentially just sub, we're conscious animals. Most of us are subconscious animals that we're not even fully conscious, right? And we're acting off a partial consciousness, which is why certain things must be veiled. You see what I'm trying to say? So, yeah. For those who have tried to pierce the veil before they are ready and do so out of vanity and greed in their heart will face the wrath, quote unquote, and judgment of the Spirit. Now, what I mean by this is the fact that people who try to pierce the veil and only do it out of like vanity, right? And they're doing it out of like greed, like that's like what's really going on with inside them. They're gonna face the wrath and judgment of the Spirit, right? Now, the wrath and judgment of the Spirit is literally you experiencing your own downfalls and your spirit kind of judging you and stuff like that. Like as people try to do things which as people try to force things to happen which aren't fully in tune and stuff like that, they face consequences, and that is the quote unquote wrath and judgment of the Spirit. This is why all evil people are bound to the denser emotions of wrath, greed, lust, envy, etc. This is the lot which they have acquired from the Spirit, never experiencing true peace. So this is like for those people who do evil, witchcraft, and all these different things, right? These people are all caught up inside of worldly desire, and they can't go beyond that shit. They experience anger, sadness, greed, lust, all that. And they're bound to that because although they think that they're piercing the veil, they only walked a little bit through it. You see, on the other side is true divinity, which would bring you true peace, true happiness, true joy, and stuff like that, right? But when you try to pierce the veil for things that aren't really of that, there's certain consequences. Yeah, you may have more power, but also now you're working with demons and you're in constant black magic battles and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is. So I want to talk about what the proper way is to go about piercing the veil and what I'm learning about piercing the veil. So right now it's 15 days where I haven't ate, right? Now, me not eating has made my spiritual connection way more open. You know, I can communicate with, other beings and other intelligences and the simple intelligence of just this reality. I can communicate with that way easier. Dreams and out of body experiences are way easier too. However, it's not just because I'm fasted, because during this fast, I had been inside states where I am not fully acting out my divinity, right? Whether it's certain thoughts popping up, certain emotions popping up, which completely changed my state. I'm being forced to let go of it. You see, since I'm not eating, my body's constantly like detoxing certain things. And like there's been times where like I felt certain emotions or like I've had certain thoughts and I'm trying to mentally get through it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know that I just gotta let the fuck go. And then I'll be like, I'm not trying to deal with this shit. And then I'll feel a craving for food. And I'm like, oh, that's what I would normally do. Whenever I felt or thought these thoughts, nigga, I would just eat food and shove it down. I couldn't do that. So I had to work through it. And I'm like, okay, nigga, I accept it, nigga. I see it. I'm wrong. I'll let go of that, So I'm saying this because just because I'm fasting would not help me pierce the veil. What pierces the veil is me being authentic and truly wanting to understand and know. There's a story in Egypt where a Set is trying to find out the true name of Ra, right? Because everyone calls Ra Ra and everyone sees the sun going by, but a Set understood that there's more to Ra, that Ra's not the true name, and that the sun's not the true form of Ra, right? And by the way, Ra is a symbol of your spirit and the greater spirit, God source, depending on what theology you're looking at. If you're looking at like the overall Egyptian construct, Ra is the sustaining aspect of source. But if you're looking at it from like just a Noonian theology point of view, Ra would literally kind of be source, or at least, yeah, Ra would kind of be source. The consciousness that became aware of itself, then created all things, right? I'll explain that more when I make my Egyptian PowerPoints. I'm already making a PowerPoint right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the full PowerPoint on Patreon, but I'm going to still give YouTube some videos that come from that PowerPoint. So I got you with a little bit of things, you know what I'm saying? But my point is the fact that with this story, right, they talk about a Set in her life and how like she wasn't I think she understood worldly sciences but didn't really care for it and stuff like that. Either she understood worldly sciences or she didn't. Either way, she just didn't give a fuck about that shit, and she always wanted to understand like more spiritual stuff. And one day, she's talking to Ra and stuff like that, right? And she's asking to know his name, right? And during the story and the interaction, it starts being seen that Ra can't literally like say his name. And the only way to know Ra's name and to understand Ra truly was to like go inside of him. You feel me? And what that meant was to become one with Ra, right? And Aset could only do that because she was authentically trying to get that spiritual unification. She wasn't trying to understand the worldly science. She didn't have any worldly desire, none of that shit. She put all that shit aside and wanted to just truly experience, you know, Ra's true name. And the thing is, she didn't expect anything from that. She didn't, like, a lot of people want to pierce the veil to get certain things, right? Aset wasn't like that. She just understood that all this shit is an illusion, and all that really matters is truly understanding God, source, the spirit. So because she authentically was seeking that, she authentically was able to find out Ra's name and become one with Ra, you see? And from there, she knew all things about source and God and stuff like that, you know? So I'm saying that because when it comes to us, we got to be authentic in our search for trying to actually, you know, obtain our divinity. A lot of people in the spiritual community get caught up in things like manifestation. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but a lot of people haven't gotten in tune with their soul, and they first just hear about manifestation. Now they're trying to manifest, and they also hear that, well, when you become more spiritual and get in tune with your spirit, it's easier to manifest. And now people are trying to get in tune with their spirit so that way they can manifest. Whole entire time, if you got in tune with your spirit, you wouldn't even care to manifest that shit. You might still be manifesting, but it might be some whole different shit. You see what I'm trying to say? So when it comes to Set, right? She was never trying to get nothing from it. She wasn't trying to, like, even when leaving your body, she wasn't trying to leave her body in order to gain a certain power or gain a certain thing. She just, like, and here's my thing, right? Even though I leave my body to go to certain places. Facts. You feel me? But when I first started this, bro, I was just leaving my body just to tap into my divinity. That was it. I didn't care what I experienced. I just wanted to understand more about whatever the fuck I am and what the fuck this shit is. You feel me? And there's been times where I try to target certain places, but it's like my spirit is trying to nudge me or urge me to do something else. And whenever I just fucking let go, you feel me? Like, one popping out be easy as shit. You feel me? Getting out of body or simply just traveling the astral plane. I mean, even though when you're out of body, you can be in the astral plane. What I'm trying to say is, even though, like, whether I'm just like dreaming or I just instantly projected there, or I actually came out of my body and stuff like that, it's way easier. And I always experience and learn what I need to experience and learn. I always see more beyond the veil when I stop trying to control what I'm going to see and why I want to see beyond the veil. Because even when I get information, it's still kind of veiled, because whenever you see images and stuff like that, that's partially illusory. although you can leave your body and really look like how you look right now, you can also change your form, because the way that images look is not the full truth of things. The full truth of things is the consciousness and the intelligence behind the form. So even being inside the astral plane, seeing all these different things, what's more important is the consciousness behind what I'm seeing. That's why even with like astral books, right, or astral tablets and stuff like that, you could touch a book and just get the information without actually reading the words, because you're tapping into the consciousness and the intelligence behind that thing. You see? And when you do that out of authenticity, not trying to get something from it, not trying to look a certain kind of way, not trying to be somebody, we're just trying to do it out of authenticity, truly wanted to just gain that wisdom, just to understand yourself and source more. That's when you start to see beyond the veil. And that happens for everybody differently. Some may leave their body, some may just have crazy meditative states, some may just be drawn to, you know what I'm saying, find different people, and then they train under a fucking master, and then they fucking learn some shit under the fucking master. Whatever it is, we all have our own journey, and you'll authentically get there if you authentically seek out this thing from the truest, most authentic state possible, without trying to get anything from it. Because Estelle wasn't trying to get anything from understanding that from she wasn't trying to get anything by knowing Ra's name. You feel me? Besides just enlightenment, that was her only goal. So if you want to simply just understand, just for the sake of understanding, that's cool. But you want to understand so I could set up this thing and I could do that thing. It's like and the thing is, right, if those intents are coming from your spirit, that's a bit different. You feel me? But a lot of people just want to see beyond the veil for the wrong thing. So that's all I'm saying. You feel me? So yeah, I could wrap up this video right here, to be honest. I said everything I gotta say. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace the freak out.